Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of MotoGP 20 here on this channel. This is part number 22 of my career walkthrough. Now in today's episode we head to Texas for the Circuit of the Americas, which is a very demanding circuit. Now looking at the development, we have got two components, one on the electronics and one on the frame, that are a week away, so we're not going to benefit from that today. We've got one engine upgrade that is completed, but we're just going to have to deal with the way the bike responds. It wheelies up so much and we're going to have to maybe adjust the gearing, but I will show you all the settings I use. So let's get straight into today's episode. Final corner, come on, this is not going to be a bad time, but we're going to have to try and control that wheelie. No, that slows you down. Oh, that is such a bugger. Oh, so that is a 2:11. We need to do a little bit better than that. So let's try and get a better start. Now the tyres have heated up a little bit. And again, this corner, trying to just slowly open the throttle. Bloody hell. This bike is such a good bike once it gets going, but just trying to control the wheelies. Let's try and get a bit closer to the apex through the S's. And it isn't too bad. And again, it's the change of direction. It's really something you have to really practice and get used to. I mean, overall the bike handles okay, it's just accelerating that is the major issue. That wasn't too bad through there. I'm just going to go over the curb, but you can get away with it down there. Try and hold the speed. Now I think this corner is going to be a bit of an issue in the race. I've crashed a few times on this one. Oh, that was much better. Nice entry there. And again, this is where all the other bikes are going to overtake me. Just initially out the corners, I just can't put the power down. Let's just see if we can get a nice entry into this left-hander. Slow down. Try not to endo this time. Oh, we just overrun it a bit. Oh, that was okay in the end. And again, flipping heck. Sort it out, Cole. It's not a wheelie competition. Just try and keep it tight through here. Again, change of direction is a major issue. Oh, we've overshot that corner a little bit. You want to be really tight in to the apex through there, and we should be okay from here. This is definitely going to be a better time. Just trying to complete the development tests. So we need to maximise the points so we can spend it on upgrading this awesome bike. And my teammates seem to be doing really, really well in this qualifying session. I've seen a couple of good times go in. And final bend, this is where I really have issues. No, it's going to go up again, isn't it? There we go. And that is the development test over. So I think we need to make some adjustments to the gearing. Right, so he's just come up the inside. Let's try and stick in with him. And accelerate, so stick on the outside because he's going to go on the inside. Oh bloody hell, go down, you stupid wheel. And, oh, not again. Right, so we've just altered the gearing, so this is a bit of an experiment, but like I said, before the race I will show you my settings. I'm just trying to get a little bit more control and keep that front wheel down, but it is so annoying. That slows you down so much. Right, let's see if we can get in a decent lap here. Slow down. In, and I've got a bike on the inside, so let's be careful. Oh, bit of contact. Oh, you bugger. Cheers. Right, let's see if this alteration's going to make any difference. This is trial and error. Oh, that was much better into that corner. Accelerate. Try and keep the... No. Oh, I think that was actually worse. Right, so that is the end of the free practice, and I think I learnt a lot. I've made loads of adjustments which I will share with you before the race, but it's all about trying to control those wheelies because that is the major issue. That's where I'm losing a lot of time. But other than that, I was really enjoying it, and with these good conditions, hopefully we can put in a decent time. So let's get straight into the qualifying. So far, so good. Let's see if we can nail this next corner. Prepared to slow down. I always leave it a little bit late. I think I've left it a little bit late, but we should be able to turn it. Oh no, we were too late. Too heavy on the front brake. There you go. Right, in behind can it? Can we get a bit of a toe in the final bends? And turn it over, slow it down. Oh, that was nicely done. Oh, hopefully this is going to be a good lap time. Hard on the brakes. And and try and control that front wheel. That was a little bit better. Still, no. Oh. So that was a 209.8, but I'll take that. That was a decent enough lap. Right, so that is the end of the qualifying, and we actually took pole position, which was a bit of a surprise because some of the times were in the 208s in the free practice, but the conditions were different. There was a lot of crashes and a lot of bikes bumping each other around. Anyway, let's get into the race and see if we can actually get on the podium.
Hello from Austin. We're here in Texas. In just a few minutes, we'll be bringing you the Moto2 race. The weather is great and the temperature is perfect for racing, so we're just waiting to find out which riders have opted for hard tyres and which have opted for soft.
Right guys, before the race, like I promised, I'm going to show you the settings that I used. Now this was a bit of a trial and error. I was just fiddling with everything, just trying to set the bike down. The handling on my bike isn't too bad, but it really struggled in the slow corners. I was losing a lot of grip, so hopefully this will work for you. It worked for me towards the end of the session, and hopefully it'll be good for me in the race. So let's get straight into it and see if I can get a positive result.
While the race officials are waving the green flag, the riders gather their final thoughts and get ready to race another US Grand Prix here at Austin.
Right, so here we go with the race in Texas around the Circuit of the Americas. Now we've gone for the hard front and the hard rear. Hopefully this is the right combination to go with because it is rather warm. Let's see if we can get a decent start. And off we go, and no, that front wheel's gone up, and that's going to cost us a bit of time, and we've lost a few places. Right, we've got to hold a decent line into this first corner. This is going to be tricky with so many bikes coming up the inside. Hold it, and that wasn't too bad. Just try and keep that front wheel down again, and back down the hill, and again, all bit of contact in the inside there, but we've just got to hold our line. We're pretty quick through the S's, so let's see if we can, oh, a bit of contact again. I didn't mean to do that. Right, let's try and go through the S's as quick as we can, through past Dalla Porta and Baldassari, in behind Schrotter, so that was not too bad. We've reacted quite well, but remember we're on the hard options, so we've got to try and get the heat in the tyres. We're not going to have the grip that some of the others have because most of them are on medium, and again we've just managed to get past Roger in that section, and that is not too bad, and again we're going to struggle to keep that front wheel down. Oh my god, go down, and drive it back down the hill. Now this corner is going to be a bit of an issue for us because we really struggled with this in the qualifying and free practice, and that wasn't too bad, but again out the slow corners we'd have struggled to put that front wheel down, and we've got to go in power 2, and we've got two bikes coming up on us, and we've got, is that Schrotter? I think we've got Schrotter coming, and we've got another bike the other side, so let's be careful into this slow corner as well. And again, hard on the brakes, and it's the two teammates, it's Luthi and Schrotter. Let's just try and stick with these two. These two are going to probably be two riders that are going to compete with us throughout the season, so we've got to show them that we're not going to be pushed around. So let's just try and hold the inside. Get a good line through there. We've managed to take Luthi. Can we take Schrotter as well? Don't think we are, and Luthi's come back up the inside. Oh, that was a nice move by Luthi, really good on the brakes, and again struggling to put that front wheel down. Let's just try and keep a tight line. Oh, bit of contact with Luthi there, trying to just hold it tight, but I just don't have the grip at the moment with these hard tyres, but I didn't push him too far off course, and he is still behind me. So let's just try and hold this inside line into the final corner of the first lap. This has been a really tough first lap, but we've managed to stick with the leaders, which is good. Right, so we go, oh, bit of contact with Schrotter. That was my fault, I do apologise. Luckily it didn't cause him too much problems, and he's managed to accelerate away. Now we need to be better on the brakes into this first corner. Can we take a later brake in? Oh, hard on the brakes. Can we get turned in? Don't lose that front. And that wasn't too bad, but we've got to try and hold that front wheel down the hill. Oh, that was a little bit better, and Schrotter's trying to come back up the inside, but we've managed to just close the door, trying to be as defensive as possible, and let's try and get through these S's really quick. It's been quite a frantic start, and this is what I was expecting around this very challenging circuit, but we have got a long way to go. And the only thing that I can do on this circuit is to be defensive, because there's so many areas that I'm not as quick, mainly on the straights, and this is where we have to try and use the corners to make our moves if we can. And again, front wheel up, just try and get it back down, get the power down, and let's try and get a little bit of a tighter line to try and force the others on the outside if they're going to try and come past. No, we've gone really wide. That was a bit of an error. Onto the curb, back into power 2, and let's see if we can get a good entry into this next left-hander. We did crash on this corner a couple of times, and it was mainly because I kept on endoing, using too much front brake. It's just hard to get the balance. It it takes a while to get used to it. You have to get your braking points really well, and again, hard on the brakes. And oh, that was much better. That's exactly what we need to do, but especially once the tyres start wearing, it could be quite an issue. And that's not too bad into that turn. Let's see if we can get in a really good lap 2 and try and swing it round. Don't use your front brake into that corner, otherwise you're going to be sliding off. And again, just changing direction is a major issue on this bike. I cannot wait until we get that anti-wheelie upgrade, because overall this bike is good, very good. It seems to handle really nicely, and it hopefully will be an absolute beast into the season. Right, slow it down again. Final corner, and this has been a really good lap 2, and we are leading in Texas, but for how long? So that was a 2:10. I will take that, and hopefully these tyres will be up to temperature now. And again, good on the brakes. Slowly open the throttle. It does wheelie up a bit, but nowhere near as bad as what it did in the free practice. I was literally coming off the back at times because I couldn't get it back down. Let's just try and get through these S's. Again, this has been a really strong point. I found in the free practice I was a lot quicker than the AI through there, and that is exactly what you've got to do. You find the areas that you're really strong and you make use of it. It's the only place that I know I can make up time. And we've just extended our lead to a second at the moment. And lucky for us, there's about 5 or 6 bikes battling with each other behind us, and that is slowing them down. Otherwise, once they get ahead of you, it's such a hard slog trying to catch up, especially when you have areas where you really do lose time, and this is one of them. Again, that wasn't the greatest entry. Get that front wheel back down, back into power 2. We literally filled the tank up, so we've got to make sure we use the fuel management. That is what it's there for, and hopefully we use it to perfection. Right, hard on the brakes again, and into this turn, and that's not too bad again, but we have got some heat now. And who is it? I think it's Baldassari, or is it Schrotter? I don't want to look behind me, not through this section. Let's try and concentrate and try and get those tight lines. And we've got a little bit wider than I would have liked through there, but we've managed to just accelerate okay, and that was much better with the front wheel. It's still up a little bit, but not as bad, and we've managed it, and it is Baldassari. So Baldassari, I think he was the winner in the first round around Qatar, is literally on it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming up the inside very soon. He's very good in the slow corners. Right, slow it down, and that is lap 3 out the way. Is it similar pace? And we did a 2:10. Oh, a little bit slower, but consistent. And Baldassari has just put in a 2:09.8, so he has started to fill his tyres, and he's probably going to start pushing hard. And I just saw him in the rear there. Is he going to come up the inside here? I think he might do. No, he didn't attempt to go through here. And we need to make use again through the S's to try and keep this nice and smooth onto the curbs, and we've got to avoid getting any penalties today. Any penalties we get are going to cost us dearly, so that is something we've got to be careful, because I did get a few invalid laps in the free practice by just pushing the limits a little bit. And again, that's not too bad through there. Oh god, every time you catch a curb it just bounces the front wheel up, so you've got to be careful of that. You don't want to be on the curbs once those tyres start to get really warm and heated. And again, oh, that was nice. That was probably the best one so far. And just slowly open the throttle again, getting it in power 2. And Baldassari is on his way now. He's going to be in my slipstream. He's only 0.3 behind. He's going to probably make an attempt to get past here. So we're going to have to be good on the brakes here on lap 4. Again, we've got to hold a defensive position. And let's just drop in. Don't want him to go. Oh, look, he just cut the curb. He's just cut the curb there, and he's on the outside. Let's try and just hold the inside into this slow corner. I'm not going to let you pass that easily, and just try and keep it nice and tight through here. And force him on the outside. And into this turn. Oh, what an attack by Baldassari. Oh, I thought it was going to come off then, but just held it nicely into this corner. I've got the inside. Let's just try and force him on the outside. Oh, bloody hell, he was straight into that corner, but it was a fair move. I probably would have done the same if it was me, but it didn't come off for him, and I'm still in first place, coming towards the end of lap 4. And we've got 2 more laps to go. This is going to be such a tight finish. And again, we've just upped the pace slightly. We need to keep it. And, Luca Marini's put in a 209.3. So one of our teammates is pushing hard now as well. Hopefully he can get into a decent position as well towards the end of this race. So 2 more laps. Can we finish in this position? This would be awesome if we could. It's been a good race so far. Right, so let's try and keep it nice and tight through the S's again. And just be careful, we don't overrun it. The tyres look good. I think the hard compound was the best compound to go with. With 2 laps to go, we've got plenty of tyre there. I think if we'd gone to the mediums, they would have been shot to pieces by now. And again, nicely done. Awesome. I've really learnt a lot about this bike in this race. And I'm starting to really feel comfortable on it. If we can just get the anti-wheelie done, I think we're going to really start to push hard in some of these races from the start. And again, that's not too bad, trying to keep that front wheel down into power 2. We've got loads of fuel and we've got to use that wisely. And Baldassarri is going to probably catch us on this straight. He definitely has better straight line speed than I do. Right, let's see if he makes another attempt to get past. Right, let's just try, and we know he comes flying up the inside, so let's just try and hold a wider position. And he is coming fast. He's going to come up the inside. No. Oh, yes he is. Oh, he tried to attack me on that corner, but we just managed. And again. Oh, didn't make contact that time, but it was close. And he's probably going to try and get me again on this turn. Let's just keep it tight. And, oh, what? Oh my God, I just got a penalty. He just forced me to go a little bit tighter, and I've just got a 0.2 penalty. That was very, very harsh. That is going to cost me dearly into the final lap. Now we know we've got to finish a little bit further ahead, and Baldassarri is going to be all over that. And again, final corner. Oh no, we've just done it again. We're making mistakes here, and now we have a 0.7 penalty, just cutting that final bend. Oh my God, we could ruin all that effort we've put in so far in this race. But let's just get to the end. Into that first corner, be careful, and try and drive it back down the hill. And we've got Baldassarri very, very close now, and he is pushing hard. And now he knows I've got a penalty. But then surely he had a penalty because he cut one of the corners on the full flap. But I don't know what the penalty system is like for the AI. Do they actually suffer from them? I'm not quite sure. And again, let's keep it tight through there. And at the moment, he is 0.699. So at the moment, if we finish like this, it still will be a victory. Oh no, I just got another one. Oh, Gooner, what the hell are you doing? You are making... And now it's pretty much a second. Oh, this is all going wrong now. It looks like even if we finish in first, we may not win this race after all the effort we put in. Right, we just got to try and push as hard as we can on the final sectors, and hopefully we can push it to a second, but I very much doubt it, because here comes Baldassarri, and I think he wants to win the race outright. So we've got to be good on these corners. Right, hard on the brakes. Turn it in, and there you go with another corner cut by Baldassarri, and he's into lead. Yeah, my rider is not happy with that, but I'm not going to let him go just yet, and we've retaken the lead. Is he going to come back up the inside? No, and let's keep these corners nice and tight as we come into the final stages of this race. Into that corner, and Baldassarri's just run straight into me, and he's crashed. Oh my God, Baldassarri, what the hell are you doing there? He ran straight into the back of my bike. I don't think there was even room for an overtake. He has made a mistake there, I'm pretty sure, but we will look at the replays. But it looks like we are going to take a win, because now we've got over a second lead over second place. And I'm not sure who is in second place. It might be Schrotter or Luti. But anyway, into the final corner, and we're going to take a win around Texas. But what an incident right at the end. Baldassarri pushed and pushed, but what the hell did he do with that overtake? I'm pretty sure it was his mistake, but we're going to look at many replays because there was loads of good moments in that race. Right, so now we're going to have a look at some of the replays. Now, it wasn't the greatest start by me. I couldn't keep that front wheel down. I lost a few places, but I did get a good line into that first corner, held firm, and I managed to be really good through the S's, and I took the places back. And I think I needed that, because if I hadn't done that early on, it could have been a very tough race. But this was a really, really good manoeuvre, and seeing that they weren't very good through the S's, I took full advantage of that behind Schrotter and managed to take Schrotter in the chicane as well, which was surprised because he was very quick through that section when I was behind him in the qualifying. So I just managed to get past him there, and pretty much from there I did okay for at least 2 or 3 laps. Right, now we're looking at a replay when the 2 teammates, Schrotter and Luthi, managed to get in front of me, and I had to be very, very clever here. They were very good through these turns, and I just tried to hold the tightest line possible, tried to stick with them, and it was really good to get past Luthi there. But Luthi, look at the turn he made right onto the apex there, and he retook the lead. But again, around this turn, I had to be careful. I did make a little bit of contact with Luthi into that turn, forced him a little bit wider. He didn't really lose too much, and he did get back into 3rd place after that. But yeah, sometimes you can't avoid little moments of contact, and I was struggling on the tyres at this state. And into the final corner, I ran it wide, but I think I made contact with Schrotter. Yeah, I did, made slight contact. It pushed me wide, but luckily managed to get back on circuit and didn't really drop a position. Got a bit of slipstream, and I knew I had to be better on the brakes to try and get past Schrotter. So I was good on the brakes, got nicely turned in, forced him a little bit wider, and managed to hold that position into the next lap. And I think, again, I needed to do this to try and push and stay in that position. Right, so here we are looking at some of the battles I had with Baldassarri, and on this one he actually cuts the curb there, and I think he should have had a penalty for that, but I don't think he had any penalties after the race. But he did crash, so that was his penalty in a way. But I was very, very strong through this section. Again, he was always trying to cut that corner there, but this time he didn't go on the curb, not like he did right at the end, but we will look at that replay. But I stayed very strong here to hold on to that position, and I wasn't going to let it up without a battle. And here we are again, another battle with Baldassarri. He was pushing and pushing and pushing. Again, he pushed me on that corner, trying to force me out wider, but I didn't give up on that position. I was determined to hold on to the win, and again into that corner, but this time I cut that corner. I got a penalty, and that was my mistake in that corner. Right, so this is the final replay, and this is the incident where he crashed. Now, he cut that corner again, but I wasn't going to give up the position that easy, and I took a nice line into this corner. I was going to hold the racing line, I was going to hold a tight line, and I was going to force him on the outside. But he makes a mistake in this corner, and as you look into the replay, he runs straight into the back of my bike. Right, so here we are on board with Baldassarri, and this was his mistake, because as I turned in the corner, he's run straight into me. He was never going to make that turn. Right, so that is the rider standings after round 2. We are top, 7 points ahead of Baldassarri. Team Championship, we are top because we've got a decent team this time, and hopefully we can win the Team Championship this time round. But overall, it was a very good defensive management race. I had to be very, very tight at times. I had to make manoeuvres that I normally wouldn't make, but I think overall, I think some of the moves that I did make were pretty fair. I think that was definitely Baldassarri's mistake at the end. I wouldn't have liked him to go down, because he probably would have won the race if we had got to the end, because he would have been at least within a second behind me, and then I would have finished second, which would have been, again, an awesome result at this stage in the season. But these things happen. There may be a time when I will go down and I come out of the race with no points. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed the replays. Please keep smashing that like button. I would really appreciate it. And also in the next episode, I am going to try something a little different with the setup. I feel that I'm going to go with the real settings. We're going to get rid of traction control completely. I think it does hinder you a lot in some of these races and the qualifying session. It does slow you down, so maybe that's something we're going to try in the next episode. We go to Argentina. It's a circuit that I don't mind. We have got an engine upgrade, a frame upgrade, and the electronics has been completed, so hopefully that will benefit us, especially with the wheelies. Anyway guys, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share the video, and I will see you in the next episode.